Alright, so let's look at the CBS shows for this upcoming fall season. We'll start off with one that's gotten actually the most press of all the shows on CBS, The Crazy Ones. The premise is the eccentric, unpredictable head of an advertising agency runs the business with his daughter, who's pretty much his polar opposite. This is the Robin Williams and Sarah Michelle Gellar show. It's coming out on CBS, and I don't know, I usually like Robin Williams better when he's not doing this really strenuous being funny guy routine. He's just trying too hard in this. My favorite roles of his are like from Awakening and Hook, which he plays straight for the first start of the movie. Pretty much midway through is when he changes into a boy. And this is just him doing his machine gun type comedy to very few laughs. But you know, you guys sticking the mud daughter, trying to stop him at every different juncture to try to make him, I don't know, a human being. He's just a character here, and it looks really lame to me. One of the big episodes they were showing was with Kelly Clarkson and how they make her say dirty words in a advertisement song, a jingle, and it just did not seem that funny. I was amazed. They got Amanda Seddon. That's a Latino lady with really nice hair that Robin Williams smells in some scenes of the show. And she's from the Mindy Project. She gave up a show that is having a second season to do this, which, good luck. Good luck to you. Good luck. The Crazy Ones. I do not think it'll last. Moving on. Hostages. Just before she's set to operate on the President of the United States, a top surgeon and her family are abducted by a rogue FBI agent, launching the family into the middle of a political conspiracy. So yeah, this is the show with Dylan McDermott. He's playing the role he always plays. Even in comedies, he plays this role. He was in The Campaign, and pretty much he played this role. Kind of a secret agent guy who gets in people's houses and takes over. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not interested in this at all, because I think they wussed out on the first on the one of the most important casting choices, which is the President of the United States. He is an old white guy, and an old white guy is not our current president, and it just annoys me they didn't have the balls to actually make the president a black man. 24 did it. 24 did it before we even had a black president. They weren't afraid. This show's afraid. And they pretty much showed a lot of spoilers just in the trailer of the show. Like, we know that the husband of the family is having an affair, and just by watching the trailer, you also will know that Dylan McDermott starts having sex with the woman that he's trying to get to kill the president. The doctor woman. So, it may be good, who knows, but I'm passing. I just don't like their strategy going in here, and again, why not just make it a black president? It seems like they're tiptoeing around. Oh god, the fun doesn't stop there. The Millers! A recently divorced guy is looking forward to being single again, until his parents also announce they're getting divorced, and his mom moves in with him. This is the Will Arnett show. I don't know why he has to do this. I would just put my career on hold for a while if this is all they're offering me. I have no idea who Margot Martindale is. Said she was on Justified and Americans, but is she just someone who's like gotten like a break in Hollywood in like the later years of her life, kind of like a Kathy Bates here? I don't know. She's, you know, one of those characters. And also, this has Beau Bridges in it, which is really depressing. I don't know why he's doing this to himself. He just got out of that awful show with T.J. Miller, where he was a dead father, and giving his inheritance to anyone but his children because they're rotten. That show was really flat, fell really flat. And he's just jumping into another crappy show. From the trailers, I saw like there's a scene where he doesn't know how to operate a coffee machine, and she's trying to describe to him how to operate it, and the only information he can give her is it's white. And it's really working in these stereotypes that men are stupid and women are frigid, and this is just a weird world that they've set up that's predictable. And this is not even, I don't even know if this kind of stuff would fly in the 80s. It's just so mild. I don't know. That's just me. I just don't think they're that kooky and fun to watch. I don't think Will Arnett is sincere enough to pull this off. There, I said it. You do a character like Job, and you just can't be this character who gets pitied all the time. Here's another show, Mom. A newly sober single mom tries to raise her 2 kids in a world full of temptations, and is not helped by the collection of goofballs around her, including her passive-aggressive mother, her son's father, and her daughter's clueless boyfriend. Right off the bat, I'm going to just say this reminds me of, what was that show that was on, they got canceled, that was doing the life of a Chelsea Handler. This reminds me of the Chelsea Handler show. It looks very similar. I was surprised. I was kind of glad at least French Stewart is finding work. I always felt sorry for him because I did not see him in much after Throw Out from the Sun. But other than that, I don't like the tone of this show. She's just always exasperated with her mother and what her mother says, and she's just sighing and rolling her eyes and being sarcastic, and I don't know. Get away from her mother if she bothers you this much. Maybe she needs her in her life. Who knows? Maybe you should watch this and find out why she has to be surrounded by such goofballs. Why are there so many goofballs around here? The preview they keep on playing is like the man she's trying to date's ex pronounces her name weird, and her name's Christy on the show, and she says, oh, no, it's pronounced Christy, to kind of have some kind of play on words with her. And it's saying petty and sad, and I don't know. I think they're trying to manufacture a Grace Under Fire feel, and this is not it. Again, this is more like a Chelsea Handler thing. Oh, let's keep the stereotypes going. We Are Men. Premise. After being jilted at the altar, a guy moves into a short-term apartment complex and strikes up a relationship with 3 other guys whose relationships have also gone down in flames. This has Chris Smith, Tony Shalhoub, that's Monk, and the guy from Wings, Jerry O'Connell, who has had awful TV shows. Cal Penn, that's the East Indian guy who was at some point some czar that Obama elected. I'm not sure where he fell into the political machine.
The Surgeon General.
Surgeon General Danielson?
So, yeah.
Okay, and that's them in it. And from the looks of it, it's just us even sadder stereotype on men. The old joke from Seinfeld was it's hard to write for women. But it seems like everyone's fallen into the same trap of men where they make them very, very uncomplex at all. Just say, sex and meat, that's what I want. And the little ad here, they got them grilling and drinking beer. And I mean, sure, these are some things men love, but they harp on this all the time and can't get out of original thought. It's really pathetic after a while. So, I mean, as much as people can't write for women, people get stuck in these stereotypes for men that are true, but are just overdone. The preview I saw was, I guess it was this Chris Smith guy with the Monk guy, and they're meeting 2 ladies, and Monk takes the younger of the 2 ladies and leaves Chris Smith with the older as a kind of a switcheroo. And that's supposed to make me, go, oh, shucks, what's going to happen next? I wonder if Chris Smith will settle for the old lady MILF. Who knows? Tune in next week. I hope it goes out fast. Bad teacher. A former trophy wife gets a teaching job and hopes to land a new guy after her wealthy husband leaves her, based on the 2011 movie that starred Cameron Diaz.
What channel is this on?
CBS.
I didn't even see a preview.
I can't believe they're trying to milk that. I mean, the movie was okay. The movie was kind of weird. They had a big theme of dry humping and stuff. That's all Justin Timberlake wanted to ever do. It was like middle of the road movie. It was nothing I would ever try to brand into a TV show. So it just seems like they're trying to stretch it.
Did they have Carmen Diaz in it?
No. It's some other girl.
I'd watch it with Carmen Diaz.
Carmen Diaz?
Carmen Diaz.
Carmen Diaz?
Carmen Diaz.
Cameron Diaz.
That was Carmen.
No. She's not Mexican.
Well, she kind of. Their last name is Diaz. Maybe she is.
Shut up.
Mexican.
Friends with better lives. 6 people in various stages of relationships, single, engaged, married, and divorced secretly, and not so secretly wonder if their friends are happier than they are. That sounds awful. James Van Der Beek is a star.
I like Van Der Beek.
Shut up. Some other people, I don't know. That's gonna not do well. That reminds me when they tried to bring in that show that was British called Couples or Coupling, and it failed fast. It wasn't interesting. This kind of show hopefully is dying. The kind of Friends show. You're seeing the end of How I Met Your Mother. That kind of just all these people that get along together and have different kinds of relationship problems that intersect. That show is finally being abandoned, finally, because it's been played out for a while. It started off strong, but it's time to let it go. It's like the family sitcom of the 80s. This may be the only thing that CBS has that interests me in the slightest. This is called Intelligence. The premise is intelligence operative Gabriel Black has a chip implanted in his brain that allows him to connect directly to any and all parts of the worldwide information grid and access data to help protect the United States. Actually, that sounds a lot like Chuck, but it stars Josh Holloway, who played Sawyer on Lost. So it's an interesting premise. He looks kind of cool here with shorter hair, so it may be worth a try. It matters how they play it. The producers did Terra Nova, though, so that may not be good. Terra Nova Medium.
Terra Nova was awesome.
Shut up, Daniel. So yeah, that will probably fail. Another CBS show, Reckless. A lot of shows from CBS this year. We're going to go on a little rant at the end here about CBS. But anyway, the premise of Reckless. Lawyers on opposite sides of a politically charged case in Charleston, South Carolina, try to hide their attraction to one another while fighting it out in court. That sounds like an awful B storyline in a movie, and that's going to be a TV show. So yeah, I'm not interested. Moving along. That's it. Alright, that's all the shows for CBS. My rant about CBS is pretty much they are the #1 network for a while now. And I think they're falling in the same kind of trap that NBC did, where they kind of just rest on their laurels and keep on pumping out this shit. And eventually they're going to find themselves needing to kill off a bunch of shows like Two and a Half Men and Big Bang Theory, and they're going to have nothing left to actually build on. So I see them in a couple of years really being on the bottom of the ladder when it comes to TV networks. Hopefully, because this shit they're pumping out is really bad, and they deserve to be on the bottom. I really don't know how they stay on top. The only thing I really like CBS for is reality television. They have some killer reality television shows with Survivor, The Amazing Race, and Big Brother. But otherwise, I stay pretty much clear of that network most of the time. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, NBC rode that 90s must-see TV. And, you know, once the last of their staples went down with Friends and Frasier in the early 2000s, they really had nothing left. And that could be CBS in the 2000 teens very, very soon. And they deserve it if this is the kind of shit they're pumping out. All this is pretty atrocious. Even the stuff that I'm slightly interested in looks like it's got huge pitfalls all through it. Yeah, best to avoid CBS.